Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with a gag grouper announcement. They've finalized our gag grouper season. Took a little while longer than expected, but we finally have a solidified season that we can count on of September 1st through end of day September 14th. That's 2 full weeks of gag grouper season. While it's not a lot and we're not super pumped about it, the good news is we're gonna keep 2 fish per person, which is pretty positive. And also, it's a little longer than originally expected. Early indicators and early math kind of had a 6 to 10 day season projected, so ending up with a 14 to 20 day season projection at the June council meeting was a little bit positive, at least it's better than 6 to 10 days. And then at the April council meeting back in early 2025, they requested 2 fish per person to be cut in half to 1 fish per person. So pretty awesome news that that is not going to be able to be put in place. So we'll have a 14 full day season with 2 fish per person. So a nice, decent gag grouper season to look forward to this year. And then next year, it's going to get much longer. Hopefully there's not an overage. If there's no overage, that means next year's season should be 30, 35, maybe 40 days. And on top of that, there's a few things in the works with a stock assessment happening next year. We all have seen more and more gag groupers, so hopefully that stock assessment next year will update the science. Remember, right now we're being managed for a gag grouper based on CDAR 72, which had a terminal year of data of 2019. So in 2025, we're being managed on 2019 data, which is pretty ridiculous and asinine. So it's good to see that stock assessment next year for gag grouper scheduled, and hopefully updating the science, and hopefully we'll see this big uptick in the numbers, which we're all seeing on the water. Also, on top of that, we have an interim analysis coming at the end of this year. That's like a little stock assessment light update, and potentially that might capture some of what we're seeing on the water and potentially might bump up quotas. It's not going to help this year. This year's for certain September 1st through end of day September 14th, but 2025 is going to be longer if there's no overage from this year, or 2026 is going to be longer if there's no overage from this year, and then potentially this interim analysis could really help that 2026 season. The stock assessment that's happening next year won't help 2027 or 2028. Unfortunately, it takes a really long time for that stock assessment science to make its way into management. So while we're frustrated now and why things are bleak now, there are some things on the horizon that are going to help a lot increase catch levels. Plus, on the bright side of things, we're all seeing more and more gag grouper, and more of them, bigger numbers, bigger sizes. So it is good to see that population start to come back strong, and stronger than ever, it seems like. So while we're a little disappointed now, it's going to hurt for a few more years. There are some positive things on the horizon. Hopefully you'll get a chance to get out there and do some gag grouper fishing. Remember, Hubbard's Marina, we do have that September 14th 39-hour trip. It is our last red snapper trip of the year. It leaves 9 a.m. on the 14th, but because it doesn't return until midnight on the 15th, it'll be the last chance for red snapper, but you won't be able to keep gags. Remember, with these short seasons, your trip has to depart during open season and return during open season. If you leave the dock before the season opens, you can't keep gags. If you return to the dock after midnight on September 14th, you wouldn't be able to keep gags. So keep that in mind. FWC is definitely going to be watching, and don't get out there and get yourself in trouble. So hopefully you get a chance to go out and do some fishing, because don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. We look forward to seeing you on the water. Have a good one.